Hello and welcome to another episode of the Watch That Join podcast. My name is James,
This is Mary.
and we are excited today because today is a bonus episode.
We're doing something a little different today.
A little different.
A lot different, actually.
Yeah. So as you know, or as you may know, if you're sports fans, both.
Honestly, you don't even have to be a sports fan. It seems like March Madness has taken over the world, even for me, and I know about it, and I am not a sports fan.
Yeah, and first off, Mary is absolutely a sports fan. She doesn't want to admit it.
Am
Like,
I?
You like the Sixers, you watch the Eagles sometimes, you watch a little bit of LeBron.
That sounds like a bandwagon fan, not a sports fan.
Well, there's obviously a
I was
spectrum
a
of
DQ was
sports
impressed
fans.
yesterday because I was able to name a whole bunch of basketball teams. So
No,
I guess
you're
I know a little something. And you watched football your whole life.
exactly, and you also like to play tennis.
I remember them though.
Yeah, but that's the only one struggling with.
Yeah.
What you said you struggle with?
There was so for I guess it was the play-in tournament for the NBA.
Yeah.
They had the scores of a bunch of different teams on the screen, and they only had like their what's it
Logos?
called, like the airport abbreviations.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
PHX for Phoenix, and I
Yep.
went through all of them. I was able to name each team. I only struggled with the Nuggets. I couldn't remember. I was gonna say the Denver Mountains. Then I was like, no, wait. Think of where Denver is. Denver isn't too far from Vegas. So when I think of Vegas, I think of gold and Nuggets. I don't know. I thought of Nuggets. I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are doing a Watch That John style of the Sweet 16. So we're going to review all 16 of our episodes so far and head to head, and we're going to compare these movies, and we're going to come up with a Watch That John champion.
Yeah, so we're not going to review all these movies, of course, because we're not trying to be here all day.
No.
But we're pitting them against each other. All the movies we reviewed, which is 16 movies.
In total, yes.
We put that work in.
We did. And
Y'all should be very proud. But
we're actually very excited that you guys stuck around with us this long. So you haven't given up in us yet. So
and if you do, we'll find you.
yes, we'll find you. So we posted this bracket on the Watch That John Instagram page. All right. And what I'm thinking, Mary, is we can go through each matchup, the first rounds, which would be eight head-to-head matchups. And then we'll go from there to the Final Four and then the championship round, and we'll crown the winner.
Okay.
Okay? So
So do you want to do your picks first for a specific round and then my picks?
we'll go matchup by matchup, and then you say who your winner is, and I'll let you know if I agree or not.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay. So the first matchup, right? Round one. Poor Things versus Mean Girls 2024.
Come on now.
So if you guys remember our Poor Things episode, which is very recent, was it the last one we just did or one before last? I forget.
It was the last one because I remember being very exhausted
Yes.
with all the research we had to do, and I said, we're not doing a hard movie next.
No. We wanted to do an easy movie, right? Not thoughtless, but just to take a little break. That was a little longer episode. But if you guys remember, Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, it won the Academy Award for
Best Actress. She won for Best Actress.
She won for Best Actress, right? And
Yeah.
if you remember Poor Things, she's played this character who had Bella Baxter, and her brain was removed from her body and
replaced with an infant's brain.
yes, replaced with an infant's brain, and she had to basically fumble through the world learning like a new adult while also
Fighting patriarchy.
yes, exactly, right? And it was beautiful and it was stellar and
weird.
and very, very strange and very,
And funny.
very funny and sexual.
And sick. Yes, very sexy. Very sexy.
Yes. So if you want to obviously, learn more about that episode, you can check out our episode number 16s. So, in Mean Girls is obviously a remake of the original movie that came out in, what was it, Mary? 2000 and
2002 or 2004.
yeah,
I
one of
can't
those.
remember.
The early
But it's not even a
2000s.
remake of the. Well, it's a remake of the musical.
Yes.
So it was the movie, the musical, then the movie remake of the musical. That's what we are reviewing. And pretty much all you need to know is just watch the original one.
Yeah, it
Not
was
much to say.
it was a musical. It was a little underwhelming. So it was clear and obvious for me. I picked Poor Things to win this
Absolutely. Absolutely.
matchup. Absolutely. Okay. So Poor Things has advanced into the Elite Eight. Let's go to the next round. The next round is
Well, aren't we still in the
I'm
first
sorry,
round?
The first round. The next matchup. I'm sorry. Next
Okay,
matchup in the first round.
Okay.
So this matchup is American Fiction versus The Boy and the Heron.
This was well, no. I choose American Fiction.
Yeah, and if you guys don't remember American Fiction, this was episode number 14, and The Boy and the Heron was episode number 13. And American Fiction was based on this African American writer who was struggling with basically having his work conform to the typical black boys in the hood stereotype and tropes, and how he kind of battled with that, with his own life drama, with his family kind of falling apart, and him being a little emotionally unstable. And it was, once again, it was a very smart movie. It won Best Adaptive Screenplay because it is written based off of a book. I can't remember the title of that book right now. But
Erasure.
Erasure, yes, based off the book Erasure. And yeah, it was once again another
By
Academy Award
Percival
winner.
Everett.
Yes, Percival Everett, who really brought to life the character of I always struggle with characters' names, so we really brought the book to life.
Of Monk, of
Monk.
Thessalonius.
Yes, of
Monk's
Thessalonius
character. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very funny movie. It's a very contemplative movie. I like this movie because it has a lot of duality. If you want to sit back and watch a funny movie, you get that. If you want a movie that's more of a commentary, you get that as well.
Exactly.
So.
Whereas The Boy and the Heron is apparently Hayao Miyazaki's last film.
What?
What?
Who is Haoi?
You pronounce his name.
Hayao.
Hayao.
No. Why? Did I say we? Hayao.
Oh, just Hayao. Okay.
Yeah,
Hayao.
where you get? It's crazy because I repeated it, and you still didn't say what I told you to say. That's
Hayao
bonk. Yes,
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. Yes.
See.
One of
Hi.
it's his last film, right?
Supposedly, I don't buy it.
In
He's
the
been saying
Studio-
it's his last film for a very long time.
Yes, in the Studio Ghibli, what is studio production studio, right? All right, and The Boy and the Heron starred this boy based in World
I
War
was going to say the
II.
voice actors:
Oh, I do not. You remember the voice
Christian
actor?
Bale, Robert
Oh.
Pattinson.
Yep.
That's all I can remember at the moment. But yeah, it was pretty much, I guess the way that we can summarize The Boy and the Heron is a boy dealing with the death of his mother,
Yep.
and also the world is dealing with what war was going on at the time?
World War II.
World War II, and just how that really impacted his life. So yeah, just a boy kind of moving through a period of great loss and uncertainty, and him finding an unlikely guide
Yep.
through that process.
Through the heron, it's the heron. Exactly. Exactly. So, out of this matchup, Mary, American Fiction versus The Boy and the Heron, who do you have winning?
I have American Fiction. The Boy and the Heron, it was beautiful, you know, beautiful in terms of the way they dealt with themes of death.
Yeah.
Of course, animation. It's Studio Ghibli. It's Ghibli. No. That's an Italian word. How would Italians say it? Ghibli?
Yeah, we know what you're
Ghib-
saying.
Ghibli. Yeah. It's dumb. It's Hayao Miyazaki. It's going to be visually stunning, and
Yep.
it was.
It was.
The voice actors, always good. You know, you can't go wrong with Christian Bale, and Robert Pattinson is really showing his versatility. But there is a lot I feel to be desired with the film in terms of, I guess, the structure of the story. I wanted something a bit more concrete. Not saying that they have to spoon feed us themes, but I did want a story that had more of a typical story arc, and I wasn't really satisfied with how the way this story played out.
Yeah.
American Fiction, on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
I was very satisfied, and I liked it better after the second watch. So, you know, it's hard to compare because these are two vastly different movies. But if we are comparing them, I would go with American Fiction easily.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also picked American Fiction.
Mm.
Even though The Boy and the Heron also won an Oscar for Best Animated Film, I thought
Mm.
American Fiction was witty. It was emotional. It was raw. It was very unique. It wasn't what I anticipated when I first saw the movie. And I agree. It's the type of film that after the second time you watch it, you're like, aha, this joint's kind of fire. Right. So yes, I definitely pick American Fiction. Moving on to the Elite Eight.
Time out.
So,
Sorry, guys. Allergies are tearing us up.
Yeah, they
So,
are.
yeah.
So the next matchup in the Sweet 16 round.
So this is round. What round is this?
There's still round one.
Okay. So there's two
Yep.
rounds.
There's actually round 1, 2, and then the championship. So far, Poor Things beat Mean Girls, and then American Fiction beat The Boy and the Heron. So they
Okay.
advanced to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
So we're going to the third matchup in the Sweet 16 round, which is Guardians of the Galaxy versus Spider-Man.
Okay.
So
do
Guardians
you
of the
have?
Galaxy Volume 3, right, is obviously a continuation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's and interpretation of the comic book Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was fun, it was basically talked about Rocket's backstory, and how he kind of came to be the mechanical raccoon like cyborg that he is. And it
The
was
monstrosity that they've made him, and he's
yes.
forever bitter about
Yes,
and
and
extremely sad.
and I understand because the way this raccoon was tormented, my God,
Body horror really, it just hits differently.
it does,
Is there something,
especially with animals.
yeah, there's something uniquely inhumane about it and terrible about people using, I don't know, their medical savvy maliciously
Mm-hmm.
and just experimenting on people. I'm black, so that's a thing with us. So it hits different.
No, I agree. And then Spider-Man, across the Spideyverse, which is the second version of Miles Morales' Spider-Man, where he basically learns of his fate as the original canon event that basically changed the Spider-Verse. And the movie is, once again, it's funny, it's dynamic, it's beautiful, right? The animation is beautiful in and out through the movie. And they're coming out with a third one to end out. I guess this is they're coming out with a third movie soon.
They have to.
Yeah, they have to finish the. It kind of ended at a cliffhanger. But who do you think win this matchup between Spider-Man Across the Universe and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Spider-Man.
Yep, Spider-Man
Easily.
hands down. Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it was cool, but it wasn't a movie that I felt like, if I never saw the movie, I wouldn't have felt like I missed out on anything. Spider-Man was a masterpiece. Like, it was, like I said, it was one of the, I'm going to say, it's the most creative film I've seen all year.
Yeah.
Like, the use, it's a multimedia just spectacle. And I just, if you don't like visual overload, you probably won't like this movie. But a person like me who adores attention to detail, even detail that you might not even notice it, like the viewer might not even notice it, but you put it there because you just care. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love the movie. It was funny. The characters, the first movie, I thought Gwen was cool. This movie, I fell in love with Gwen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, she's cool as hell. I get why Miles likes her so much. She's so freaking cool, and it was just funny. Like, who knew I needed Spider-Man T-Rex? I needed that. Who knew I needed that? Cat Spider-Man. It was just, and it was touching too.
Who knew we needed a vampire Spider-Man?
I don't remember
Spider-Man that was the main dude. I forget his name. He basically was part vampire, part spider.
Miguel?
Yes.
He wasn't a vampire. He was like a werewolf or some shit.
No, that was a vampire werewolf.
No, he wasn't. He had like talons. He wasn't a vampire. He didn't drink anyone's blood.
He had like the fangs. Like,
don't mean he was a vampire.
Vampire.
He's not a vampire. He didn't drink anyone's blood or do anything vampire-like.
He definitely did not werewolf-like.
He looked more like a werewolf. You saw how hairy that man was?
He
reminded me. He gave me like Wolverine-type vibes.
Like I said, he was definitely dark like Wolverine. Like his personality. Dark and aloof.
He gave me Wolverine mixed with Beast from X-Men vibes.
Okay.
But
I can dig that.
Yeah, this was no competition in my mind.
Yep.
I would watch it again. It's just even the little details. Remember we talked about Spider-Gwen's themed and how it's an version of the original Spider-Man? I was like, I loved Hobby Brown. Hobby Brown is the big stepper. That I love the freaking movie. I love it. I may get it in real life just so I can sit back and watch it over again. But yeah, that movie blew me away.
It's on Netflix.
But I want it. I want like a physical copy of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So Spider-Man advances. So next is the Barbie movie versus Everything Everywhere All at Once.
This one was hard.
It was hard, right?
This was hard.
The Barbie movie is obviously about the fantastic Barbie played by I just drove a blank of her name, Mary.
Margot Robbie
and Ryan Gosling. And the Barbie movie was actually our third episode, going against Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was episode number 6. Barbie was obviously silly, and people claim it was a little political, but it was funny. It was catchy.
It was a cult classic.
Yeah, I really
literally. This movie pretty much made everyone start caring about Barbie again.
It did.
Like, I still see girls. I go on TikTok now, and I still see grown women, showcasing their all pink houses. I was watching this one woman on TikTok, and her entire kitchen is pink. Even the food she eats is pink. She made pink eggs, and she ate it from pink pancakes. Yeah. Wow. Pink eggs, pink scrambled eggs, pink pancakes. Everything that wasn't pink, she hid out of view. And there was a lot of Barbie things. I think Barbie kind of made women kind of embrace and not be afraid to expose the more girlish parts of themselves. Like even now, how the way people talk on like the internet, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, if you're a gym girly, here's this really cute pink set from Lululemon, or my arts and crafts girlies," and just
You saying that
we're
Barbie
really
helped? She helped bring back feminism, kind of, or prideness, not necessarily feminism, but basically being pride of being feminine,
she
femininity.
definitely yeah, she definitely brought in a pride for hyper femininity.
Mm,
And like I said, we kind of, it's a movie about a doll. So we kind of went back to doing things that could be seen kind of childish.
yeah.
Like this whole, I don't know if you know, but like this whole interest now with coquette kind of type of dressing where girls wear bows and frilly dresses and they have tea parties and everything is very romantic, and the obsession with pink. It's all very childlike and hyper feminine. So I think Barbie made us realize, hey, we can be super feminine and like the same things we did as when we were little girls and still be taken seriously.
I
And
agree.
because of that, it's beautiful. Like Barbie literally sparked a whole different subculture. Like it's its own subculture in my mind.
So Barbie in this round is competing against everything, everywhere, all at once, which
Hmm.
won the Academy Award for Best Picture
What year
in
was that?
2023.
Okay.
They also won Academy Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role by Michelle Yeoh
I
and
thought it was Yo.
Yeoh. Um, yeah. So basically, when Everything Everywhere All at Once came up, they kind of swept the board and won a bunch of Oscars. And this movie um, is described as an interdimensional sci-fi slash love story drama
Comedy.
where comedy, act kung fu comedy, where the main character, um, Evelyn, played by Michelle Yeoh, and her husband Wayman Wang, played by Ki Hung Kwan, are cast into this world where they have to navigate and basically fight for their relationship and fight for to save their daughter, who is also the destroyer of said world and all the worlds around it. So it was very fantastical. Also thought it was beautiful and weird. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis was in it, and she, at one point in the movie, had hot dog hands, and she
And
fought
hot
like a
dog
suit
toast.
and hot dog toes. She fought like a sumo wrestler. You know,
She
she
was very scary.
very very
Remember
scary.
when she stapled that paper on her forehead like it was
Yes,
nothing?
she took the stapler and just stapled it right to her forehead. Just ate it too. You know, and it was another fantastical, random, wild whirlwind of a film. Um,
Yeah, both films are similar in the fact they're both like extremely wacky.
yeah,
They're both extremely wacky, extremely whimsical, fantastical, but there's a deeper meaning underneath all that.
yeah.
And originally I did pick Everything Everywhere All at Once because what was the reason? Um because for me, yeah, it seems like that I like movies with multiple universes
Mm,
and a lot of different set changes.
yeah, me too.
Um but and I chose that over Barbie because even though Barbie literally goes from the Barbie world to her life on to Earth, well, yeah, Earth, I guess it's Earth, out of the human world. Barbie world may be on Earth. Who knows? That's the beauty of it. We don't know where it is, but we know how to get there. You have to roller skate and jet ski and get on a rocket ship and all those other things. But one thing that I wish with the Barbie movie is I guess I wish that she had more experience on Earth. Like I don't know, like I said, I remember she came to I forget her name, but America Ferrera's daughter. She
Mm,
came to her school and she was like, "Hey, I'm Barbie." And first we are like, "Whatever." Then when they believed her, they just said, "Oh, well, you're terrible." I don't know. No, I guess I wanted a little bit more um, of that in the human world. But now that I'm thinking about it, when I talk about literally how Barbie took the world by storm and still does have a firm grip on us, I may choose Barbie. I may choose Barbie.
Well, you don't have the option. You got to pick, Murphy.
Wow. I think I am gonna go with Barbie. Yeah, I'm changing
Ooh.
my original decision.
Barbie with the upset with defeating the
Everything
Oscar
Everywhere All at
winner
Once.
in
Yeah.
2023. Actually, I picked Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What's
Right.
that?
The Barbie movie was fun. I wasn't completely enamored with it. I thought some parts was kind of corny, even though they
Yeah.
intended to be corny intentionally. Um, and I did
Well,
enjoy the
corny like what? Like
just like the Ken fight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know what I mean?
that's definitely intentionally corny, but some
Yeah.
things I felt like were supposed to be touching, but it came off as corny, and to me that's a
Yes.
lot
Or like
worse.
I still think the end of the movie is weird, where she walks up and the creator of Barbie, Barbara, comes up and she is basically talking to Barbie about does she want to exist or not. That was a little weird and kind of drawn out. But
I
every
thought that was kind of drawn out too.
yeah, yeah. But everything everywhere all at once. When I understood the deeper meaning that it was a love story that focused that um Evelyn's character, Michelle Yeoh's character, Evelyn rather, had to basically fight tooth and nail to save her daughter. It just was beautiful. The whole thing kind of put together was beautiful. That's why I picked Everything Everywhere All at Once to make it to the Elite Eight. So moving on along. Oh, so I guess that's fine. Our brackets can differ a little bit. I think that's fine. The next step, the next matchup, The Color Purple, the musical version that came out in 2023, versus Leave the World Behind, which was the Netflix thriller. The Color Purple is obviously adapted from the original movie that came out in the 80s, directed or produced by Oprah Winfrey, directed by Steven Spielberg.
So this has the same sort of background as Mean Girls 2024, where it was a book made into a movie, made into a musical, and now this film that we reviewed is a film adaptation of the musical.
Yep, yep, exactly. Um, so yeah, it had Fantasia as Celie, Danielle Brooks as Sophia, Haley Bailey as Nady. You even had
Nettie.
Cole Nettie. You had Cole Domingo.
Halle
Sierra
Bailey.
was in the movie. Taraja B. Henson, Dion Cole. So it was star-studded, you know. And even had Corey Hawkins, who played in
Straight out of Compton.
Straight Outta Compton, and he played In the Heights. And her, the singer, John Batiste was in there. It was star-studded and musical. Just it wasn't as I want to say tough. I don't think Mister was as menacing as the original Mister. I think that Taraji B Henson
Yeah, it wasn't as gut wrenching
as gut wrenching.
as
Yes.
the Spielberg film.
Yeah, and Taraji's interpretation of Suge, she sung better than I expected, but she didn't sing like Suge Avery got down in
Well,
the
she
80s.
said that was one thing she was nervous about. She acknowledges that she is not a singer.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it did hinder the movie some. Because the last song where she sings, when she finally meets her father, and they sing, oh my God.
Oh, the little church hymn, Water in the Church, right?
Yeah, what is it called? I don't know. They sing that song. She doesn't have a lot of vocals at all. And I remember that was a really big moment in the original movie. And I was waiting for something that big. But, I'm like, I get you're not confident in your singing. That doesn't mean you don't sing. Come on, we got studios here. We can make you sound great. Drake sings.
Maybe
Sound
God is
great.
trying to tell you something.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
That number should have been a lot bigger than what it was. But on the flip side, Push the Button was lit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Push the Button was a great time. One thing about
Mysterious
this
Ways with Tamala Mann was a really good song. You know. Oh, you just talk about Sugar Avery's song.
I'm
Sugar
talking about
Avery.
Suge.
Yeah, when she came in, that was a good song. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I like I said, I feel like this movie couldn't decide if it wanted to be a musical or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. How did you feel about
Leave the World Behind.
yeah.
So Leave the World Behind, you know, we didn't really intend to review this movie. I watched it on Netflix and my jaw dropped and I was like, oh crap, we need to do it because
Your jaw dropped.
yes, right. Because Leave the World Behind, it had, so it was about this family, you know, who lived in upstate New York. They went on this vacation at the Airbnb they were staying at, and there were some strange things that happened, and the owners of the Airbnb would end up being a father and his daughter, both of them black, and it was just they had to learn how to kind of stick together when the road was literally ending, you know, and I enjoyed it a lot because it was
Because it had Mahershala Ali in it.
Mahershala
That's why I
Ali,
enjoyed it.
you know, it had Julia Roberts was in it, you know,
Ethan
and
Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, but it was just mostly that family and maybe one or two other characters, but it struck a chord with me because it basically showed how the nation is so fragile. You know, America is so fragile that if there's a few strategic points that our enemies can kind of get us to fire each ourselves, will fall apart. You know, and yeah, I thought that was really good, and it was just a Netflix special, so I could watch it on my couch, and yeah, I really enjoyed Leave the World Behind a lot. So actually, in the competition between Leave the World Behind and The Color Purple, I picked Leave the World Behind.
I picked The Color Purple.
The Color Purple, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though, like I said, I have a lot of gripes with The Color Purple, Leave the World Behind was only interesting to me after I did research into the film. And
yeah.
I understand a lot of movies are like that, but for me, I shouldn't have to do that to really find a movie interesting.
No, I
Before
agree.
I researched the film. And I do appreciate all the different things that went into the film. The cinematography, the use of color, the painting that changed. That was really interesting. The symbolism. There was a lot going on, and I did have a great time. Like that movie actually, I felt like taught me how to really understand that when you watch a movie, things are intentional.
Yep.
Things are
Yep.
very intentional. You know, a lot of times with movies, directors or whoever don't just put stuff in it. Sometimes, you know, because it looks good, but sometimes it can be more than that. So, but also, like I said, if I didn't do that, I would find the movie kind of like, I don't know, just waiting for a big payoff and it never came.
Yep, and I remember you being disappointed, and actually several people who I've talked to about the film were disappointed by the ending, you know, because it leaves a lot to interpretation. So it actually makes sense that we have a split decision there. I think the next matchup, we're going to be on the same page. So the next matchup is Wish, Disney's Wish, versus The Little Mermaid, right? Wish was obviously
Wish was so good. It wins. Actually, Wish is the winner of the entire Sweet 16. You know, the fact that I really love the fact that nothing made sense. I love the very one note use of blue.
yeah.
And I love the
The villain.
multitude of characters who literally had no purpose and
Yeah,
were completely unmemorable. I love the very grating goat. Yeah.
Yeah, the villain with no backstory. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to I don't want to go back to what happened before, but they never explained what happened before.
And I really love the star that is so important and sought after. But we none of us has a firm grasp of what the star actually does.
Exactly.
And I love the songs. They sound like they were written more for Selena Gomez than for a musical. I love stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wish got our lowest movie rating out of anything we watched. Mary gave it a single kernel.
You
On
called
a
it
popcorn
dog
scale.
water.
Yeah, I did call it dog water. So, speaking of water, Under the Sea, The Little Mermaid, right? Starring Halle Berry.
No. Try again.
Halle
No.
Bailey.
Yes, Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
There you go.
I've been saying Halle Berry my whole life, Mary. So every time I try to say her name,
And I think that's very fair. If anyone critiques you about that, I'll be like, shut up.
it's a Freudian slip because I've been saying Halle Berry my whole life. Anyway, she was fantastic as a Little Mermaid. She got a lot of
Flack for it because of racism.
exactly because of racism, but she
Plain and
sung
simple.
incredible.
I teared up.
Yeah, she sung incredible. It was fun. She did a really good job of acting. Her co-stars also acted really well and can also sing. I thought that Sebastian, played by
Daveed Diggs.
yes, Daveed Diggs, right? I thought that he did very good. He was funny, and then the scuttlebutt, right? The bird, that was funny as well.
People did not like that song. I like the song.
They don't like the song because it's not original. It was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
But it's still good.
Exactly.
I
I thought it was good too. So yes, Little Mermaid wins easily.
And Disney's really try to put lemon in angry white people's wounds because there's an animated series called Ariel, and the Little Mermaid is also black.
Oh.
And I said, that's motherfucking right. Because like I said, it's like, why do you guys think you can gatekeep Ariel? Black girls love Ariel too.
Exactly.
We love her just as much as you do. And at the end of the day, it is a fictional character. Mm-hmm. Relax.
It is under the sea. So, what people look like anyway. All right.
Seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. And if you're going up there, then that's just a big mistake. Just look at the world around you. I know the rest.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Darling is better. Down is wetter.
Take it from me. Nasty.
No, that's a bop. That's a bop.
That is a bop. The next matchup, we got two more in the first round, is Oppenheimer versus Super Mario Brothers. As you could tell, I said it as a Smash Brother theme, right?
You should have been like, Super Mario Brothers.
So Oppenheimer is based on the American physicist who helped develop the first atomic bomb in World War II, and his struggles with
infidelity,
with almost being a communist, with being a super genius but misunderstood,
and just the moral, his moral standing, because he was struggling with his own sense of morality.
He was right, but Oppenheimer did win this year Best Picture.
It won everything, it seems like.
It did. Robert W. Jr. won Best
Supporting Actor.
Yes, Best Supporting Actor. It was, I think, Christopher Nolan won Best Director. And once again, in my opinion, it was a masterpiece.
Didn't they win something for sound too, like Best Sound something? Maybe I made that up.
No, it makes sense. I don't know if they did. We can look it up on the side. But that was going against Super Mario, which Super Mario to me,
just fucking fun.
Yo, it was so stinking fun. It was nostalgic. It had the video game version. They brought the TVs back. They did the fighting scenes well. Peach was bomb. They made Luigi with King of the Rats. What's his name? Charlie Day with Luigi. even though we were hating on Chris Pratt being Mario, he did a pretty good job as Mario.
He really proved himself, you know? And
but
like you said, I like the fact that they explained the whole thing about the Italian actor. You know, and like I said, I think there still is a conversation to be had where it's like, guys, we have these voice actors who has voice acted the characters for decades, like Chris Martinet. He was in the film. He
from
was in
the
the
original
film.
Mario. Yep.
No, in the yes, he's an original Mario, but in the film he was Mario's dad. Remember? But
Yep,
you know,
I do remember. Yep.
like I get that studios are going to hire the biggest name actors to do these movies because it's about money. And not saying they're not talented, but I do think we should really stress like, hey guys, like this dude has been good enough to be Mario in the video games. All these voice actors have. Why do you not think they'll be good enough for the movie? We're still going to watch it. The people who love Super Mario is not watching Super Mario because Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Pratt is in it and Charlie Day. Even though I do enjoy Charlie Day, it's, you know, but yeah, Chris Pratt, he did a great job. The movie
Yeah.
looked great.
Yes,
I was worried
but-
because Illumination Studios worked on it, and I don't like anything Illumination does. But it was a really good movie. Can't wait for the sequel. Jack Black, voice
Stole the
actor
show.
of the year.
Yes, he was. He stole
Peaches, 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 peaches. I
love
you.
you.
Come on. Come on.
Amazing.
The man put his foot in it.
He did. And you know, I loved Oppenheimer, right? I had a blast reviewing it. I had a blast watching it, but Super Mario did something to me.
You had
when
a
I
blast
watched
watching it?
it.
You had a
get it?
blast watching Oppenheimer?
Yeah, you get the pun.
Yeah.
Right. But Super Mario stole my heart, and
Yeah.
I pick it over Oppenheimer
Easily.
easily. Right.
Call me uncultured, call me childish. I don't care. I need people to respect animated films.
Exactly.
There's a lot of work that goes into it.
It is.
Animators are not paid enough. They are overworked. They do not sleep. They do not see their families. All they do is animate. And it takes a lot of meticulous, long hours.
Yes.
And it was well worth it. So respect
Yes.
animation. Super Mario
Respect
Brothers Avances.
Exactly. Respect it. Okay, the last matchup of the last matchup of the Sweet 16 round is Creed 3 versus Luca. All right? So Creed 3 is obviously following
Adonis Creed.
Adonis Creed. All right? It was
Played by the very sexy Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, played by Michael B. Jordan. It was our second
That should be his epithet.
movie.
Michael B. Jordan, the sexy.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. And
Say it.
you know, it was based off the original
Say it.
Rocky movies.
Say it.
And the Creed 3.
Say it.
Say what, Mary?
What's his full name? Is like a pimp name slip back. I just established it.
Michael B. Jordan, the sexy.
There we go.
All right. So anyway, you forgot my synopsis, Mary. Now you got to do it.
A nigga fights. I don't know. Say no. So yeah, Adonis. He has to come to terms with a bad decision he made in his childhood that kind of betrayed his best friend, and now his best friend's out to get him and everything he owns.
Yeah.
And this is before all the terrible things transpired with what's old boy's name?
Oh. Let me see. I know it's like, yeah, he turned out to be, I think,
Kind of weird.
Yeah, he got in a fight with his wife or his girlfriend or something. Jonathan Majors. And
Jonathan Majors.
It was a shame because Jonathan Majors was on the rise. You know?
And he was really good in this movie.
He was.
He was the main draw for me. Like I said, his performance, just you felt the pain on his face.
Yep. And in between Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan the sexy, and Tessa Thompson, right? They did a really good job in this film, right? And obviously Michael B. Jordan, right? He wasn't the best of the actors, but you know, he was a good Creed, you know? Going against Luca, right? And Luca is the first movie that Mary and I recorded on this podcast. And Luca is an animated film based in
Is it Disney,
fiction.
Pixar, or Disney and Pixar?
Um, I don't know what's top of my head. It's Disney's Pixar.
Okay.
Disney Pixar. Right. So Disney Pixar's Luca, right, is an animated film based in Italy, right, probably in the 40s or 50s, around that time frame, where Luca and his friend
Alberto.
Alberto are sea monsters, and they're amphibious. When they're in the water, they're sea monsters, and they come out of the water and they transform into humans. And this movie basically talks about it's a slice of life film. You know, it's about them running away together and joining this triathlon and making new friends along the way, but also avoiding dangers and learning about themselves and how to be themselves. And it, in
And
my
how
opinion,
to really separate and allow themselves to grow into different people as well.
exactly,
Learning to let each other go.
exactly, and I absolutely adored the movie. Right, this is
Come on.
the
It's
main
such an underrated gem.
yes, and
The
it's
movie had me boohooing.
yes. I first time I watched it, I was bawling like a baby. You know, and it's the
I remember when I saw it, I think I called you and I said, James, you need to watch Luca.
yeah. No,
I
it
think you
was
need to watch it.
it was I called you. I forget.
No, I watched it first and I told you to watch it.
Watch that, John.
Yeah, I told you to watch it. Honestly, this movie was kind of the foundation for this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, for real, because this talking about this movie, we realized how often we talk about movies together. And it's like, we should talk to other people about it too. Just
Exactly.
to get it out. Because I have so much to say, but this movie, it looks great. Like, I love how all the characters look like Play-Doh. And the vibrant colors. It's so comical, and it's deceptively extremely heartwarming.
Yes, it is.
And it's really good, y'all. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Even the soundtrack, so fun. It feels like, I don't know, you're in Capri in the 50s. It's just fun. It just reminds you of summer and just endless possibilities. And I love coming of age movies. It's probably my favorite type of movie. So this is right up my alley. But I don't even think I'm being biased when saying this movie's really great and you should watch it. And therefore, I choose that over Creed.
So do I.
Yeah, and I enjoyed Creed. Creed was good. Creed 3 was
Yes,
good.
it was
But
good.
Luca, it has a special place in both of our hearts.
100% agree. Okay, so second round. How you feel so far, Mary?
I feel good.
Feel good. So do I. Let's go to the lead eight. So we both agreed on the lead eight. The first matchup in the lead eight is Poor Things by Emma Stone, winner of best. What was this? Was it best original?
Best
screenplay?
actress.
Best actress versus American Fiction.
That was best adapted screenplay.
That was best adapted screenplay. So we talked about this.
This was hard.
This was very hard. This is very hard. Who did you give the edge to, Mary?
I gave it to Poor Things.
So did I.
It seems like with me, the weirder the movie, the more likely it's gonna win.
And I struggle with this a lot, right? Because I did enjoy American Fiction, but Poor Things, you're right. The uniqueness of it, the weirdness of it. And when I walked away, I was like, what the heck did I just watch? But I didn't mind watching it a second time. And it was still funny. I thought it was funnier the second time I watched it.
Yeah, I feel the same about American Fiction too. Like I said
Me
before.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree that Poor Things should move on to the final four. The other side of the bracket, Spider-Man versus, so I had him versus Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you had him versus Barbie. So, who do you think Spider-Man Across the Universe, Spider-Verse, compares to either one of those movies?
Spider-Verse wins.
Yep. Actually, I agree too, so it doesn't matter. Spider-Verse, it was captivating. It was, like you said, colorful, very unique and engaging. Only thing wrong was the audio quality in the theater, which I don't understand. But it was, I remember watching the movie and the entire time I was excited while watching it. So I agree that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is also in the final four, matching up against Poor Things. So the bottom half of our bracket, okay? So you have The Color Purple, while I have Leave the World Behind, facing off against The Little Mermaid. Who would you pick in this matchup? The Color Purple versus Little Mermaid.
I'm gonna go with The Little Mermaid. It just shows that Halle Bailey eats.
Yeah.
She wins no matter what. But her and The Little Mermaid, like I said, that movie was. I was kind of surprised by how much that movie meant to me. Hearing her sing "Part of Your World,"
Yeah.
it solidified her as Ariel. I said no one can watch can watch this talented, devoted young woman sing this song and not think, wow, she is Ariel.
Exactly.
And that was so important to me. So, yeah, The Little Mermaid.
Nice, nice. So I had the matchup between Leave the World Behind and Little Mermaid. I understand your love for Little Mermaid and your connection to that movie. I didn't have such a connection. I didn't have
the connection with the original animated movie either. That's the crazy thing about it too.
Yeah, I thought The Little Mermaid, in my opinion, overperformed my expectations. But Leave the World Behind overall, I thought was a better film for me and interests me. So I picked Leave the World Behind to be in the final four. So Leave the World Behind, and you have The Little Mermaid. Going to the other side of the bracket, which, in my opinion, one of the hardest matchups in the whole thing. Super Mario Brothers movie versus Luca. Who you got?
I have Luca.
So do I.
Yeah.
I got Luca.
Like I said, the Super Mario Brothers movie is a great time. I had so much fun. The nostalgia. It's a great movie. I can't wait to the next one. But what we said about Luca.
What we say about Luca.
Exactly. But my thing is, it's not far off. It's not far off. Like I said, I love in Super Mario Brothers. They made a world around Mario, a different world than what we knew. This dude is from Brooklyn. He has a family.
Yep.
Crazy. I was like, oh, this is great. I love this. But there's just something about that fish people.
Yep,
something about them fish people.
Them fish people, man. So, the final four. We have the matchup between Poor Things by Emma Stone, directed by Alcider Gray, right? Based on a novel. Or maybe this is the novel I'm reading.
Yeah, Yorgos Lanthimos is the director.
Yes, you're right. Yes, he is the director of Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, right? With Mark Ruffalo and William Dafoe versus Spider-Man. Who you got?
I have Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
It seems like animated movies has been winning.
Yeah.
I love animated film. I like to draw. I love cartoons. I just love it. Not saying that, like with American Fiction and The Boy and the Heron, I didn't choose The Boy. My love for animation didn't have The Boy and the Heron beat out American Fiction. To me, and I'll get how someone would be like, you're crazy choosing Spider-Man over Poor Things. But I'm like, I'm not. They're two very different movies. They're fantastical in many different ways. But like I said, like you said, Leave the World Behind had your jaw drop. That was me in Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I think, so I picked Poor Things to advance. And it was hard because of what you just said. Spider-Verse, it was fun. It was captivating, the entire movie. I thought Poor Things from, I was going to say a technical standpoint, but I'm not exactly sure.
From a technical standpoint, Poor Things is great too.
Yeah.
The vibrant colors, how they use the colors to really set the tone. Those many different shots and
yes, the different focal lens, and
it was crazy.
And how demented and twisted it is. I was disturbed the first half of the movie. I was watching it, and I was like, "What is going on?"
But it's still funny.
but it was still funny and
Yeah.
awkward, you know.
Like
And
it's weird. It's twisted, but it's lighthearted at the same time.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have Spider-Man moving to the championship. I have Poor Things moving to the championship. Okay, let's check out the bottom bracket. So the bottom bracket, you have The Little Mermaid versus Luca. I have Leave the World Behind versus Luca. Either way, Mary, who do you
Luca
think wins?
wins.
Yeah, I agree.
Luca wins.
Luca wins, right? And I agree that Luca is in the championship. So we have very similar brackets, but we have two different. Well, we have two different options for the championship round. So I have Poor Things versus Luca, and you decided.
Why it sound like that? And you decided.
Yeah, and then you selected Luca versus Spider-Man across the Spideyverse. Okay, let's give me. I was gonna say, give me a quick reason why either one of them could win.
Because they're both tits. Like, I don't know. They're both really good. They both look really good. The message there, it's there's just like a beautiful focus on family and friendship in both movies. When I think
agree.
about the relationship between Miles Morales and his mother and father,
Yep.
how his mother had that talk with him saying like, I watched you grown up and now you're this adult man and now you're a young man and you have to enter the world and everyone may not accept you and that's really hard. Or just Luca's mother, Daniela, just being like, listen, you are very different and you're going into a space where people kill sea monsters and I'm very worried about you, but at the same time, if I love you, I gotta let you go.
Exactly.
And so
That was a theme for both movies, is that the people around you that you're going to come across, some people will accept you and some people never will. And you have to find out how to be your authentic self regardless. Right. And I thought that was beautiful. And so my matchup is Poor Things versus Luca. Like it's completely different movies, right? There's not really
I
consistent
can't find any
themes,
comparisons between the two.
amongst any of them except for transformation. Where Bella Baxter had to transform from being, a large, mentally disabled, like not large, but a mentally disabled woman to an intellectual, to someone who wants to learn about philosophy, and someone who wants to be a brain surgeon. Whereas Luca started as a nervous, sea monster who learned how to be human and confident and brave, brave in the face of danger and also not as selfish. So I think transformation is a key similarity I could point to both movies. But the winner, in my opinion, of the Watch That Joint bracket is once again Luca.
Well deserved. But I didn't choose Luca. I choose Spider-Verse.
Wow. The universe has split, y'all. So we did this in a vacuum. I did not look at Mary's results. I did not send her my results. And this is crazy. So we have a split champion, but that doesn't work, Mary, because we have one podcast. The Watch That Joan podcast.
We're going to start two separate podcasts. Why Luca should have won, why Spider-Verse should have won.
Exactly. I'm Team Luca, you're Team Spider-Verse. All right.
Yeah.
So we need to come to consensus, Mary, in order for this to make this work.
I don't think we do. I think we can have two different brackets and post two different brackets, like my bracket and your bracket. I think it's more interesting.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So for me, the Watch That Crown goes to Luca, which is our first episode. And to you, the Watch That Joint crown goes to Spider-Man Across the Universe, which was episode number 8.
Yeah. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me to choose between the two of them because they're both so dear to my heart. But
I agree.
you know, I love chaos. Apparently, just an abundance of chaos is where I feel most complete. So yeah.
And Moon Hatton Spider-Man, that was fun. That was fantastic.
What was his name? Provitar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that was fantastic. Mm-hmm. That was fantastic. You know, I had Spider-Man losing in the Final Four against Poor Things because I thought Poor Things was just a very, very good movie.
Yeah, but you said Poor Things kind of lagged in the third act when she was in France, when she was in Paris.
Oh, I forgot about that. It did. Mm-hmm. It did.
And it does. It makes sense why it does because, like I said, at that point, Bella Baxter's no longer seeing the world with rose-colored lenses. She's kind of seeing the world more as it is. So, of course, it's not as interesting. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about that, too.
Yeah. So, yay! Congratulations to Luca and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
We can have a dual champion this year.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, that's our Sweet 16 episode, you know, in the theme of the NCAA tournaments that were just won in the men's tournament by UConn and the women by South Carolina. And
did you watch the draft last night?
I did watch the draft. I did.
Yeah.
I did with Caitlin Clark going number 1, and it was pretty cool. I hope the WNBA kind of spins off and do. I'm gonna watch their games. I'm gonna watch our games and a repeat player like Angel Reese and Cardoso from South Carolina.
Did Flau'jae Johnson get drafted?
I don't think she's a senior. I don't know if she declared.
They said you don't gotta be a senior because Angel Reese isn't a senior.
No, you don't. I think you have to be a junior. You get to play for at least a year or eligibility. But at any rate, thank you everyone so much for listening to our first 16 episodes of the Watch That John podcast. This is a bonus episode, so we'll be coming to you guys really soon with season 2. And
season 2. This is news.
Yeah, season 2, right? The release of season 2, where we'll talk about more movies and we'll get into what you guys want to watch. And
maybe we'll start doing TV episodes too. We've been talking about it. You know, TV is the new movie, honestly, and most of you bastards and go to the theaters anyway. So
exactly. We can start doing TV series, and me and Mary just finished watching a good TV series too. That we maybe could start talking about.
I started watching Sex and the City. I know that's not the
That's not the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that's not. But I was like, oh, the show is actually really good. I don't know why no one told me to watch it sooner. There's this one episode that I thought was funny where the main character, her name is Carrie, and she farts in front of her boyfriend for the first time. And she's worried about it because it seems like ever since she farted in front of her boyfriend, he no longer wants to sleep with her. So she talks to her friend Samantha about it. And Samantha's like, oh, my God, what a big mistake. And Carrie's like, what? I'm human. You know what I mean? And Samantha was like, no, honey, you're a woman. And men don't like it when women act like humans. I was like, that's funny.
That is funny. But yeah, guys,
yeah.
More to come.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. You know, you can find the Watch That Drone podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you find your podcasts. You can follow us on @WatchThatJoan on Instagram for the latest episode news. Thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.